So a question I get asked a lot is, with all this technology, what business or what industry should I look to participate in? A lot of us just land up in the businesses or the industries we're in by circumstance, kind of discover them by circumstance, instead of designing the process of what's the most advantageous to ourselves. And we need to look at just a couple of industries. I'm going to look at about 8 industries that are currently on a very good projection for profitability and growth. Hey, I'm John Harris, and this is another episode of Exponential Radio. And we're going to discuss perhaps where you can make some money or start a business or be part of a process or an industry, or get a job in an industry that has good growth prospects in the new world. So let's just take a look. Some of these with exponential growth, and what we're talking about here, they don't necessarily have all the exponential attributes of an exponential organization, but they may have some, or they have very good potential to grow. So let's just have a look at what's possible here. The first one is renewable energy. These solutions with ongoing power outages, there's a big problem in South Africa, and securing energy is a priority. So businesses offering solar panel installations, wind energy efficiency systems, even with the smart switches, everything else that you've got, are looking to tap into South Africa and commit to sustainability, decarbonizing with a global environmentalist, looking to take part in the new movement towards environmental goals and sustainability. So that is one. But again, we need to think about this within our own context as individuals, where maybe some of these things aren't so efficient yet, aren't really working that well or as well as we hoped. But if you start to look at building out bigger companies with solar farms and etc. and coming onto the grid, I think these things will start to get more and more prevalent, and there may be opportunities for you there to get into this industry. So that is something to think about. The next one we could look at is e-commerce, drop shipping. The rapid rise of online shopping is fueled by a 21.4% CAGR, compound annual growth rate. So this is pretty good. And e-commerce, you'll see that there are companies at the moment, quite a few of them are overseas, that are doing well. And they're still having to distribute right from the Far East, for example, to South Africa, and they're still doing very well. So although drop shipping with our postal service is not possible, it is possible using other delivery systems, companies that are delivering on time and timelessly. And it is a growth of 77% to 2030. So this is very big. Distribution and online shopping is going to definitely increase. So the take-up of online mobile devices is increasing. And although it's not great now, it's still time that if you move ahead of the curve, you could be right on the apex of it. So drop shipping models for reaching national and international audiences should start to up cost and scalable potential. So you can think about, even if we're bringing in, for example, clothes from Far East, why can't some of the guys that are here start also to get a really good online shopping and distribution systems? Just simply copy what's being done and what's successful already. So that is something else to think about. Obviously, fintech and digital payments are expected to grow, because it's just that industry is basically the biggest tax provider at the moment within that sector. It's a 5.8% growth through to 28, reaching $9.46 billion. So it's sizable. Businesses offering model banking, digital wallets and microloans, financial inclusion for some of the unbanked, and it has exponential growth. And also, obviously, with the digital transformations, it does have a lot of potential for utilizing exponential attributes. So maybe there's something within the software realm that you can get involved in. There are a lot of payment systems, the payment cards, and different types of instruments that are being developed. Although there's a lot of requirements as far as regulatory systems are concerned, there is still a potential there to get into a really big growth industry. Tech and IT services, look, with high demand for web development, app development, cybersecurity, cloud services. You know, this has all been driven by a young tech-savvy population with the G4, G5 networks. And so there's a big expansion potential here. We do know, obviously, that a lot of this is now going to be driven by AI, but a lot of people, it's not everybody that's utilizing AI. And we've seen massive advances, and we're seeing huge advances specifically in Grok 3 to 4 and 5. So they are really changing the dynamics. And we're going to get from text or voice to actual implementation. So there's going to be a device and software that's actually going to start delivering on these things, not just research, etc. So this is a big opportunity to get in there and even help with people that don't know how to utilize these things. So the training, the education and that kind of things with it is also a potential. So there are a lot of little areas and sub areas within a niche that you can look at, and that's what's very, very important. The digital economy, specifically, as I've mentioned, will make it a huge transformation to the business landscape, and it is there for rapid scaling. So these are things we need to think about. Tourism and ecosystem, ecotourism, as a top global business events destination, and with a focus on ecotourism, the Big Five game reserves, tourism benefits South African, with its beautiful scenery, cultural diversity, infrastructure, offerings, opportunities for the lodges, and adventure tourism. So this is a potential growth area in South Africa that is really, although it's a long distance haul, it is still a huge potential here, and we are very successful in various areas of tourism, and so it's potential here to grow more, and obviously utilizing more online marketing capabilities and focused AI, again being able to focus on specific niches and tailoring those niches to specific groups. We all know about the birding groups and various other groups as far as nature's conservation is concerned. So those can really be targeted in a very big way with the help of AI. So there's huge potential there. Health and wellness services, rising health consciousness and aging population drive demand for healthcare franchises. So this is a big opportunity here. Wellness, whether you're looking at management or holistic well-being, there's a lot of potential to creating businesses here, even from the pharmaceutical industry and so on and so forth. I know at the moment there's quite a lot of controversy, but nanotech and genomics are coming. I mean, we're going through some rough waters with the various vaccines that have been produced, but there are a lot of health products that are also, have potential and can offer a lot of business opportunities for people out there. Another one would be food and beverage. The innovations, the evergreen demand for diverse culinary experiences, including organic gourmet foods as well as fast food outlets, ensuring steady growth, especially in South Africa, growing appetite for unique local source products and hospitality related ventures. So a lot of people, there's a large population that's starting to come in towards tasting and being part of different culinary experiences. It is also a very big thing in tourism, and as we mentioned, that's an opportunity. So this is also our hospitality industry is also related to tourism and is a big opportunity. Digital skills and ed tech, with a growing emphasis on digital literacy and e-learning, business offering online courses, coaching, tech education. You can tap into a huge amount here, and this is a big opportunity. The knowledge-based industry, self-education is going to only grow, and it is growing. It's over a billion a day already industry. So learning, whether it's within an environment of a business, they can go to online courses. They have online courses for example, to onboard people, to educate people. So you can have a huge consistency and bringing in new people to do different jobs. You obviously in the private sector, individuals, there's a massive growth in educating people on various platforms, and you can go now, and the real power, you can go now and learn just about anything. And the real power is the shortness. It's not like these long varsity courses and the reduced costs. It makes it much more affordable. I think a lot of these traditional formal type education programs and courses are going to have problems because of their length because of the exorbitant costs. And I think people are moving too fast. The whole thing is moving too fast. By the time you finish an 8-year course now, in the medical industry, becoming a doctor, so how far would have genomics, robotics, and so nanotech, how much would it have changed? I mean, you'll be redundant before you kick off, so it's too slow. So this is a big opportunity for online courses. So that gives you some idea of some things, and you'll have to think about them, those industries, as growth industries, but you need to have sub-niches within those industries, perhaps that aren't, where there's a gap and they aren't being fully utilized. You may have heard of the blue and red ocean theory and planning, and not going into red oceans that are overcrowded, going into a blue ocean, but you don't really want to be in a complete blue ocean where nobody else exists, unless you're very, very brave and got deep pockets, because it may not work. It's better get in between, where there's something that's not too busy, that has already some take-up. So look at different niches and different methodologies and how you can utilize different technologies in these industries. You know, with the tourism, we know that there's a growing VR, AR, MR capacity taking place. Although it's not the same experience, it does utilize, for example, tourist destinations. You can create a MR type experience where people can see and get a taste of what's there in order to promote. It's going to be very powerful marketing, the same as that using MR in education. It's going to be very, very, very powerful. So these things are all coming up, and it's quite exciting if you can become a part of it. It's threatening if you don't, because you're not sure a certain future, you don't understand what's going to happen in the future. But if you can start to focus on one of these things and focus on a specific type of technology, you only have to play around with some of the AIs now and start using them a bit. Don't have to be dramatic to start with, but you can start learning, and you'll start to see it gets, once you get a methodology to it, it gets easier and easier to use, and it's very, very powerful. The alternate side of that coin is, if you don't get to be part of this, you're simply not going to be able to compete. That is the downside, and it's something you need to think about. As usual, you can get some more of our past episodes at johnarthurharris.blogspot, and you can then catch up on some of the things we've been chatting. Otherwise, we will see you in the next episode.